Early life and background. Ross William Ulbricht was born on March 27, 1984, in Austin, Texas, to Kirk and Lynn Ulbricht. Ross grew up in a supportive and middle-class family environment with a sister named Callie. From an early age, Ross displayed a strong aptitude for academics and a keen interest in science and technology. His parents encouraged his intellectual pursuits, fostering a love for learning that would characterize much of his early life. Education and academic pursuits. Ross attended West Ridge Middle School and later Westlake High School in Austin, where he was a standout student. He was also active in the Boy Scouts of America, achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. This early experience in leadership and community service would shape his later philosophical and ethical views. After high school, Ross received a full academic scholarship to the University of Texas at Dallas, where he majored in physics. He graduated in 2006 with a bachelor's degree and continued his education by pursuing a master's degree in materials science and engineering at Pennsylvania State University. While at Penn State, Ross became deeply interested in libertarian economic theory, particularly the works of Ludwig von Mises and Murray Rothbard. This interest in libertarianism and Austrian economics would become a central theme in his later endeavors. Early career and entrepreneurial ventures. Post-graduation period. After completing his master's degree, Ross faced a period of uncertainty regarding his career path. He briefly worked in a variety of jobs, including as a research scientist and as an employee in a video game company. However, he struggled to find a role that aligned with his passion for liberty and free markets. Early ventures. Ross's entrepreneurial spirit led him to experiment with several business ideas. He started a company to trade in video game items and dabbled in day trading and investing in precious metals. These ventures, however, did not bring him the success or fulfillment he sought. The birth of Silk Road. Vision and ideology. Ross Ulbricht's immersion in libertarian philosophy led him to conceive of a platform that could operate beyond the reach of government control, embodying the principles of a free market. His vision was to create an online marketplace where individuals could trade freely and privately, without the intervention of the state. This idea took shape in 2011 when he launched Silk Road, a website on the dark web that allowed users to buy and sell goods and services anonymously using Bitcoin, a relatively new digital currency at the time. Development and operations. Operating under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, a reference to the character from the novel and film The Princess Bride, Ross meticulously developed and managed Silk Road. The platform used Tor, a network that anonymizes internet traffic to protect the identities of its users and operators. The marketplace quickly gained popularity, particularly for its drug trade, though it also hosted listings for other illicit goods and services, such as fake IDs, hacking tools, and more. Ross implemented a system of user feedback and ratings, similar to eBay, to build trust among buyers and sellers. He also enforced a set of ethical guidelines, prohibiting the sale of items that could harm others, such as child pornography, stolen goods, and weapons of mass destruction. Despite these rules, the vast majority of transactions on Silk Road involved illegal drugs. Legal troubles and FBI investigation. Initial scrutiny. Silk Road's rapid growth and the volume of illicit transactions drew the attention of law enforcement agencies around the world. The anonymity of the platform made it a formidable challenge for investigators, but it also attracted increasing scrutiny from various governments and agencies, including the FBI, DEA, and IRS. These agencies collaborated on a task force to identify and apprehend the individuals behind Silk Road. Hashtag, 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 hashtag digital trail and arrest. In 2013, the FBI made a significant breakthrough in the investigation. Through a combination of digital forensics, old-fashioned detective work, and a series of mistakes by Ulbricht himself, agents were able to link Ross to the Dread Pirate Roberts persona. Key pieces of evidence included postings on online forums where Ulbricht had discussed his libertarian views and his ambitions for creating an anonymous marketplace. On October 1, 2013, Ross Ulbricht was arrested at the Glen Park branch of the San Francisco Public Library. He was charged with a range of offenses, including conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit computer hacking, and conspiracy to traffic narcotics. At the time of his arrest, Ross was found with his laptop open and logged into the Silk Road admin interface, which provided substantial evidence against him. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag trial and conviction. Hashtag, 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 hashtag court proceedings. Ross Ulbricht's trial began in January 2015 in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. The prosecution presented a comprehensive case, supported by extensive digital evidence, including chat logs, emails, and detailed records of Silk Road's operations found on Ulbricht's laptop. The defense argued that Ulbricht had created Silk Road as an economic experiment, but had handed over control to others long before his arrest. They also suggested that the true Dread Pirate Roberts was someone else who had framed Ross. Hashtag, 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 hashtag verdict and sentencing. On February 4, 2015, Ross Ulbricht was found guilty on all counts, including engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, narcotics trafficking, and money laundering. The evidence presented by the prosecution was overwhelming, and the jury reached a unanimous verdict after only a few hours of deliberation. In May 2015, Ulbricht was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Judge Catherine Forrest, who presided over the case, emphasized the need for a strong deterrent against the creation of similar illegal marketplaces. The severity of the sentence drew significant attention and sparked debate about the fairness and proportionality of the punishment. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag post-conviction and appeals. Hashtag, 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 hashtag legal efforts. Following his conviction, Ross Ulbricht's legal team launched several appeals, arguing that his trial had been compromised by procedural errors and misconduct by law enforcement officials. They pointed out that 2 federal agents involved in the Silk Road investigation had been convicted of corruption and theft related to the case. Despite these efforts, Ulbricht's appeals have so far been unsuccessful, with the Supreme Court declining to hear his case in 2018. Hashtag, 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 hashtag public campaigns and support. Ross Ulbricht's case has garnered substantial public attention and support, particularly from those who view his sentence as excessively harsh. His mother, Lynn Ulbricht, has been a tireless advocate for his release, organizing campaigns and raising awareness about his situation. Numerous petitions have been launched, and various public figures and organizations have voiced support for his clemency. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag legacy and impact. Hashtag, 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 hashtag Silk Road's influence. Silk Road's creation marked a significant milestone in the history of the Internet and the dark web. It demonstrated the potential of cryptocurrencies to facilitate anonymous transactions and underscored the challenges that law enforcement faces in policing the digital world. The platform's legacy continues to influence discussions about online privacy, digital currencies, and the limits of government regulation. Hashtag, 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 hashtag broader implications. Ross Ulbricht's case has become a focal point for debates about the balance between liberty and law enforcement in the digital age. Supporters argue that his sentence is a symptom of broader issues within the criminal justice system, particularly the harsh penalties associated with drug-related offenses. Detractors, however, maintain that Ulbricht knowingly facilitated a vast network of illegal activities and that his punishment is justified. Hashtag technological and social impacts. Hashtag cryptocurrency adoption. Silk Road played a crucial role in the early adoption and popularization of Bitcoin. By demonstrating Bitcoin's utility in facilitating anonymous transactions, Silk Road helped to establish the digital currency's value and legitimacy in various circles. This early use case spurred interest and investment in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, contributing to the development of the broader blockchain ecosystem. Hashtag dark web marketplaces. Silk Road's success and eventual downfall set a precedent for future dark web marketplaces. Numerous copycat sites emerged, attempting to replicate Silk Road's model while learning from its mistakes. These new marketplaces continued to use cryptocurrencies and anonymity tools, but they also implemented more robust security measures to avoid detection. The cat-and-mouse game between law enforcement and dark web operators intensified, leading to a continuous evolution of tactics and technologies on both sides. Hashtag ethical and philosophical debates. Hashtag libertarianism and free markets. Ross Ulbricht's libertarian beliefs were central to the creation and operation of Silk Road. His case has sparked ongoing debates about the role of government in regulating markets and the extent to which individuals should be free to engage in voluntary exchanges, even if those exchanges involve illegal goods. Supporters of Ulbricht's vision argue that Silk Road was a legitimate experiment in free market economics, while critics contend that the harm caused by the platform's illicit activities cannot be justified. Hashtag privacy and surveillance. Silk Road's reliance on anonymity tools like Tor and Bitcoin highlighted the tension between privacy and surveillance in the digital age. The case has raised important questions about the balance between individual privacy rights and the need for law enforcement to prevent and investigate criminal activities. As governments and technology companies grapple with these issues, the legacy of Silk Road continues to inform policy discussions and legal frameworks. Hashtag personal reflections and future prospects. Hashtag Ross Ulbricht's life in prison. Since his incarceration, Ross Ulbricht has remained a controversial figure. He has expressed remorse for the harm caused by Silk Road but maintains that his intentions were rooted in a desire to promote freedom and privacy. Ulbricht's supporters continue to advocate for his release, emphasizing his potential for rehabilitation and his contributions to the discourse on liberty and technology. Hashtag continuing influence. Despite his imprisonment, Ross Ulbricht's ideas and the impact of Silk Road persist in various forms. His case serves as a cautionary tale for those exploring the intersections of technology, economics, and ethics. As the world continues to navigate the complexities of the digital age,